I'm not the type of person that has too many fears. I don't like heights, I don't really like watching horror movies, but those are things that I've gone through a handful of times. Been fine throughout it, and I came out on the other side A-okay. But I do have one fear that I can't really shake, and I honestly don't think I ever will. So I'm going to explain to you a semi-recent occurrence of how this fear kind of brought itself back into my life. So this story takes place in, I believe, the summer of 2023, so almost 2 years ago. At the job I was at the time, I was getting off kind of late, probably around 9:30. My apartment was right down the road, so I got home at probably around 9:40 or so. And as usual, I park in my parking lot, I unlock my door, and what I would normally do every day is I would turn on my kitchen light, I'd set down my wallet, I'd set down my keys, just to leave them there for the next day. And on this day, I did that. I turn on the light, I put down my wallet, and before I could put down my keys, from the refrigerator, I saw a mouse run from the fridge to under the stove, and I just froze. I was in shock, and I was horrified. There's no other way to explain it. I was absolutely horrified. I didn't even grab my wallet. I had my keys in my hand, thankfully, and I ran. I just ran out of the house. I locked the door, and I just got in my car, and I felt like, I don't even know. I felt like I was in a nightmare. I called my parents, and they were out of state. They were on vacation, but they did tell me like I could go stay at their house. Luckily, they were only a town over, so I was able to do that. But I left my wallet inside, and obviously it has my credit card, my driver's license, and I was like, all right, I'll go inside and I'll grab that real quick and then I'll just leave. Staying in the house was not even an option. I would have never even considered it. There was no way, if I knew there had been a mouse in there, that I was even going to think about staying in that house. But I went back to my front door to go get my wallet, and honestly, I couldn't even bring myself to open the door. This might sound crazy. I know a lot of people think this fear is unreasonable, but I'm just trying to give you some perspective here. Like, I couldn't even get my wallet. I just stayed at the door and I could not bring myself to open it. It's not like I could go grab my clothes. I mean, all I had was, my work uniform that I had on. So I drove to the next town over. I stopped at a Walmart to grab some t-shirts and, some socks and stuff that I would need for the next couple days, because I knew it would be a couple days before I returned home. And even though I didn't have my wallet on me, I had actually only a few days before set up Apple Pay on my phone. I put it off for years, but I finally did it. So I thought I was in the clear, like I would be good. I grabbed some t-shirts, some socks, and I get to where you check out, and they didn't have Apple Pay. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, now what? So I just had to walk out of Walmart. I didn't have access to my money. I really just felt like I hit rock bottom. I drove to my parents' house and I stayed the night there. And the very next morning I called my landlord and told them what happened. And they said in a few days they'd be able to get pest control there. And that meant I wouldn't be returning for a few days because I could not stay in a house with a mouse. And the day the pest control did come, I ended up stopping by the house really quick. I taped a $5 bill to a piece of paper that said, "For pest control, please text this number with what you find, where it came from, any details you have," because I needed to make sure that nothing would ever come back in the house. So on my way to work from my parents' house, I stopped by my apartment real quick. In a split second, I really quick opened the door, threw the paper with the $5 bill onto the couch where he would see it, and closed the door back up, went to work, and I was just waiting for his text. And to sum up the rest pretty quickly, he let me know that there was a hole in the wall behind the stove, and probably like a day later, my friend helped me out, helped me to move the stove, and I got this very high quality tape, like stronger than duct tape, like unbreakable tape, and I layered that hole in the wall probably about 6 times, so that I knew for a fact nothing could get through again. I lived in that apartment for another year and a half, and, by patching up that hole, it was a little relief, a little weight off my shoulders, but it was always still in the back of my mind at all times, day and night. Anytime I was in that house, I was kind of thinking about it. Even though it was pretty much impossible for one to get in, I still, would have thoughts of like, what if there's a hole that's not patched up, like that I missed, that I can't see? Um, I would go to bed from that incident onward. I would always close my bedroom door at night, which I normally wouldn't do, but I closed it just in case. And I feel like I kind of, for the rest of my time in that apartment, I lived in fear. It's not like I was on edge about it at all hours of the day, but like at nighttime, I would kind of think about it. And, if I started thinking about it, I couldn't stop. But luckily for the remainder of my stay there, I never did see another mouse. And I'm very thankful I didn't. So I guess I would have been about 22 years old when that all happened. Only just a few years ago it happened, not even. And I do know where this fear kind of comes from and where it all began. When I was maybe 3, 4, or 5 years old, kind of leaning more towards 4 or 5, I was at my grandmother's house, and I was just sitting at the kitchen table. I don't know why I was over there. I think she was having people over. Maybe it was someone's birthday. I don't even remember. But I remember sitting at the kitchen table, and something, caught my eye. Like I saw something in the corner of my eye, and it was a mouse, like kind of in the entrance to the kitchen. And I just like completely lost it. I freaked out. Like I was going insane because I saw a mouse, and I don't know why, honestly. I don't know if something had happened to me like before that made me afraid of them. But that's the earliest incident I can think of, and I think ever since then, it's just been a huge fear for me. I know it does sound kind of ridiculous, because I do know that odds are if I encounter a mouse anywhere I am, it probably won't do any harm to me. It'll probably run from me. And I honestly can't tell you what does it. I don't know why. Like, if I just see them, even if I see them like a picture on my phone or a video, I just have to close my eyes and just scroll past or close whatever app I'm in. I can't even look. I understand that it can come off as ridiculous. But honestly, I'm not ashamed of it because it's kind of just the truth. It's something that's a part of me, I guess. For something like this, I don't think there are steps to take to try to make it better or to try to make the fear go away. And even if there were, I kind of don't want to take those steps. I think, I will just hope to avoid mice from here on out. It's only been 2 encounters in my entire life that I can think of. I've been to New York City multiple times, and I've never seen a rat or a mouse, thankfully. I don't plan on ever going back there just because I really don't like the city. There's lots of germs and garbage and too many people for my liking. But I really don't know what I would do if I saw one in the street. If it was in public like that, it would be a lot better than if I saw one in my house. Oh my, if that ever happened to me again, I don't know what I would do. I know a pretty common fear is spiders. I'm personally not afraid of them. I don't love to see them. But I've seen a few, like, in my house in the past. It happens to pretty much everyone. And I'd rather do without them, but I don't mind them. I just kill them real quick. But it's almost comparable to that. Like, I feel like people who have, like a big fear of spiders, that's kind of how I feel about mice. It's like the same exact thing, but with a different animal. I think overall it's just disgust. Something about them just disgusts me. Like, I get no other feeling, from looking at anything else other than mice. Like, the feeling that I get from looking at them. That kind of goes for all rodents, too. Like, possums, even raccoons. It's like my least favorite thing in the world. Call me crazy, but that is my reasoning, my biggest fear in the world. I don't think I'll ever get over it, and you know what? That's okay with me, as long as I can avoid them for the rest of my life. So yeah, if you have any fears, let me know below, even if they're crazy, even if they're stupid. Because, if all fears come from something, and, if you have the same opinion as me, let me know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching my very random, stupid rant of a video. Leave a like on it, please, and I will see you next time.